Oh gosh, how am I even going to get this all in for a thumbnail? I genuinely think I'm going to have to take this thumbnail in 2 parts. Ugh. Okay guys, here's one half of this haul. Oh gosh, oh. Hey everyone, it's Bethany from Bethany Books and welcome back to this book nook. As you can tell from the thumbnail, 1, we're doing a haul, and 2, I have a problem. This month, so I'm filming this at the beginning of June, so May was a month of collecting books. Trade Me, which is New Zealand's second-hand online store for everything, had some great books. People were selling some good stuff, so I picked up a lot. And there's also mine and my partner's anniversary, so I have some like present books from Titus, my partner. There was a book sale. I went a bit mad, and in all honesty, the thing is, after this haul, there's going to be another one coming up because in a few days is the annual Red Cross sale here in New Zealand, which is massive. So I'll be bringing my tote bags to that sale. I just want to preface this by saying this is by no means me showing off what I have gotten. This is a collection that has taken me over 3 years to collect, and just because you don't have a lot of books doesn't make you not a reader. That's the sentiment I truly, truly believe. If you own 1 book, if you own 100 books, if you own no books but you still read books, how many times can I say the word book in this video? You're still a reader. So now that that's out the way, if you're new here, please consider leaving a cheeky like and subscribe down below to help out a small growing booktuber. The goal is 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And thank you again all so much for your continued support. Let's get in with it, shall we? I cannot wait! Alrighty, so first and foremost, I will show you the books that Titus got me. He got me 3 books, the first of them being this edition of American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I mentioned that this is a classic, like, fiction, sci-fi, fantasy, I think, book that I really want to read, and lots of people recommend it to me, so I picked it up. Well, I mentioned it, and then we were online shopping on Book Depot and I saw this edition. I was like, yo, that's so nice. And bless him, I genuinely wasn't even hinting, but he picked this one up for me, so that's amazing. Like, just look at the little, can you see the little shine? It's got like this little detail which makes it so cool. He then he's just so good at listening, this man. He then picked up Assassin's Apprentice, which is book 1 in the Farseers trilogy. I think, if I'm wrong, I'll pop it up on the screen, by Robin Hobb. This has been on my radar because Peru's Project Reagan always goes on about how much she loves these and how it's one of her favourite series of all time, and I just really, really want it. So that's this one. A little bit of shine, a little bit of gold, again another fantasy. Honestly, they're all fantasy. Then he picked me up the next book in my Brandon Sanderson series. Even better. Oh my god, I love this man. It matches my current series. Like, I'm just so proud of him. He's such a good book boyfriend. So yes, this is book 4 in the Brandon Sanderson Mistborn series. If you don't know, it is a ginormous world, and I'm reading it based off of the picture that is hopefully up on the screen for you right now, starting from left to right. So you can see that it's like there's 2 trilogies. So I'm gonna read through those 6, 7 books first before moving on. I've only read book 1, book 2 and 3 I just really want to get to. It's just a time thing really, and a choice thing when I do my Beale Chooses TBR, but I've got this one ready for me when I get to it. So those are the 3 books the best boyfriend in the world got me. I feel like this exposure is a bit much. There we go, that's more realistic. Then I'll show you this bunch of unwrapped ones. These ones I did get brand new. I got them at the Warifari warehouse here in New Zealand. They were in a bag and bin. So I have already gone through this stack over in this vlog. So I'll go through these really quick. I've got Sue Monk Kids, The Book of Longing, which I picked up due to recognising the cover and the name. And I'll be honest, I don't know if I recognise it just because it's been in the bag and book bin for so long, and I just, like, have seen it so much, my brain thinks I recognise it from somewhere else, but I picked up that. I then picked up Magellan's The End of the Ocean. This one I picked up because the history of bees is on my shelf, and I've heard that Maja is a really good author, so when I saw the other one on sale, I picked it up. Through His Eyes, I picked up because I'm pretty sure I've heard good things about it. I'll admit it wasn't normally on my TBR, but it's one I think I've seen around, and it sounds like an interesting thriller, which is something I'm still trying to dip my toes in. I then have here The Dearly Beloved, which is definitely a cover moment for me, shall we say that. I saw the cover and was very intrigued. If you've heard of this book, let me know your thoughts, because I know nothing about it apart from the blurb, and it sounds like a historical story following people growing up in Mississippi, and just like a classic character-driven plot. And then lastly, I mean, I don't know about you, but I just love this cover. I'm not normally a fan of people's faces on things, but I don't know, maybe it's the colour scheme of it just really struck me. And then the blurb sounded really haunting. Essentially, two people are going to a bridge about to commit suicide, I believe, a youth and an elderly man. And they see each other, and from there a bond is formed. Sorry if it sounds like I'm rushing through these. I'm just so excited about this, guys. So that is my warehouse book haul sale stack. The last uncovered one is It Was the Right Time Around That Time, Boy Meets Boy. This is by David Levithan, and I actually asked you guys over on my Instagram if it was worth picking up. Most of you said, yeah, do it. So I picked it up. It's a lot shorter though than I honestly thought it would be. And honestly, it just sounds like a really interesting love story, slice of life in high school. And in a sense, the shortness of it, less than 200 pages, 180 pages, appeals to me. Sometimes books can be too long and too dragged out, and my critique is always stuff happens that didn't need to happen. So I'm really hoping this is a beautiful, haunting, deep slice of life moment. So then, team, we get on to the pile of books that I have not opened. Okay, let's go over to this one because she's peeking out the top. This is The Van Apple Girls Are Gone by Felicity McLean. Now, I had seen this one on Trade Me for quite a while. It had been on my watch list. There we go. It had been on my watch list and then not been sold, and then I saw it again and I kept adding it to my watch list, but eventually the person selling it actually reduced the price by a couple of dollars, so I was like, what the heck? I think I paid $3 for this book. This is another one I saw all over Bookstagram years ago, and I feel like it had its shot at fame. I always intended on getting around to it, but never did. So I got it. I'm pretty sure it's like a thriller in the 90s. Yeah, 1992. Oh, and it's based around a concert. Cool. I should probably act like I wisely spent my money picking all these books, but I didn't. And then, oh my god, and then we got hit with this massive gas bill, which is not our fault. It was the gas man's fault because he was reading the neighbour's gas meter, not ours. Anyway, I spent money on books. So that's this one. I'm really excited. Again, decently short. How many pages? Not quite 300. 296. So hopefully a high-paced one. I'm interested to see how the concert life gets popped in there. Let's go. It's like Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo. Do you guys remember those like little kiddie things you used to go to as kids? What are they called? Pick and mix, but for like getting random presents. Let's go with this one. I have opened it, but I cannot remember what's in it. Oh, this looks like an ARC that was sent to me, guys. As always, I'm as transparent as can be. Oh, yes, I remember this. So straight away, thank you to the people who sent this to me. I'll pop their info down below. And of course, guys, because I get things for free doesn't mean I'll be biased. And if anything, I think I'm actually harsher when I read books that I'm sent for free because I want to prove to people that I'm reading things critically. And so, you know, if I speak about an ARC positively, then I really liked it. And they gave me one to do a giveaway with, which is really exciting. So make sure you're following me over on Beth and Books for that. Let's go with this little one. Oh, look at that. So this is an ARC as well, team. This is the Van Life Murders, a little short one. And I was actually reached out on Instagram to read this. And I am trying to read ARCs by authors who don't already have a well-known name, simply because I think it can be very saturated a market. You know, books get famous just because their authors are already known, which is valid. Like, if you're known for a good reason, then that's valid, but it can be hard for new authors entering the scene to get a foothold in it. I'll be sure to leave their links and everything down below and up on the screen. Alrighty, let's go here. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ah! The perpetrator for all of this madness. So this is Veronica Roth's The Chosen One. And if you're thinking, Bethany, haven't you read that? I'm sure I saw that in a wrap-up somewhere. You're right, I have read this, but I didn't read a physical copy of it, and I don't own a physical copy of it, and I love it. I really loved how this turns the Chosen One trope around, and also it's just really pretty. So it's one of those books that I bought because I've read it before and really, really loved it. So I'm really excited to have this one joining the collection. It's in such good condition too. Like, all of these except the ARCs and the stacks at the beginning when new. So these are all secondhand. That's in really good nick. Quite proud of that find. The face of confusion because I've forgotten what I've bought. Oh, okay. The story behind these two books is that it's a duology that were being sold together for like $10, and I was just like, yo, they're pretty. So honestly, these ones are a bit of a cover buy. What are they about? And which way round do they go? Oh, whoa, I've just opened. This author has written heaps of books before. Has anyone heard of Melissa de la Cruz? Okay, I think this one goes first, so we've sorted that out. Caledon Holt is the kingdom's deadliest weapon, and then she is essentially an assassin. I probably looked this up on Goodreads and read that it was about a female assassin, and I was down. It's like Christmas. One of the best things about being an adult is being able to spend my money however I want. One of the worst things is having to manage that money. Let's do this one. I will sacrifice my nails for books. I will not. Oh! Okay, I remember picking up these two. So they came in the same package because they are from the same seller. But let's start with Girls with Sharp Sticks. At first, I thought I recognised this. But when I read the blurb, I realised I didn't, but I still wanted to read it. Let me remind myself. That's right, it has an academy school kind of setting, which I'm always down for. So, the girls of Innovations Academy are beautiful and well behaved. Under the watchful gaze of their guardian, they receive an education that's meant to be good, make them obedient, make them like the perfect woman. However, we follow a main character called Mina and her friends as they uncover the dark secrets of what's actually happening there. And then they start to fight back, bringing trademark plot twists, which implies this author has written a lot. Nothing I recognise. So I am excited for that. It sounds right up my alley. I love anything with a good school trope. And then Suicide Club, honestly, this sounds really morbid, but I've been feeling like reading some really dark books recently, and obviously the title is quite tragic. So I had a read of the blurb, and honestly, I don't remember it. Yes. Now I do. It's coming back to me. It says that immortality is now within reach, which gave me Scythe by Neil Schusterman vibes, and I loved that whole concept. Excuse me. And we follow a girl called Leah, who's the poster child for this because she's 100 years old and stuff like that. However, there's a brush with death, and it's kind of brings questions to life in the society. So I'm really intrigued. Oh, whoa, the words are quite big. I don't know if you can see that. So although it's a little bit thick, it looks like it would be a quick read. I'm just really interested about books on mortality and stuff. The morbid person in me is. All right, we're looking good for time. We have 3 more packages. Let's do the one which I'm pretty sure is an ARC as well and just get it out the way. Not to say I am ungrateful, but... It's one of those bags that has like newspaper between the linings and it made a mess, but seat 7A. So thank you very much to HarperCollins. I think I've mentioned, but just to go over it before, I am a HarperCollins New Zealand blogger buddy, which means I can request books off of their list when they send me through an email every couple of times. And I was, like I mentioned before, I'm trying to read from authors who I haven't heard of to help, I don't know, give them some space on platforms which are highly competitive. So this is a novel called Seat 7A by Sebastian Fitzek, and just look. I mean, I love this cover. So it's set in an airplane, obviously. And like, I appreciate that the cover is kind of creepy, but also very obvious about what's going on. I love this cover, but I'll be honest, it doesn't really tell you much about what's going on, does it? Okay, so when I read the blurb for this, essentially it says, today someone is sat in seat 7A. You have a feeling something's going to go very, very wrong. And something goes wrong, I don't know what. But everybody being stuck in a plane sounds very intense, very high stakes, and I'm just here for it. I'll make sure to keep you guys updated about that one. All right, 2 packages left. She's double wrapped, baby. What did I buy? Oh, okay. These are the Lord of the Rings, let me get them in order, Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3 series, which I got for a steal. I found them, I'm pretty sure I paid $15, so $5 each. They all match, and yes, they're secondhand, but I think I've mentioned this before as well. I absolutely love books that look like they've been read. Like, I've got an absolute thing for the Stephen King stories, which are like super... just read, you know? Like, when I die, I don't want my bookshelf to look like every book is brand new. I want them to be folded. I want them to be lived in and experienced. That's why I'm always trying to give my books to people to read as well. If you know me, you know this. I'm always keen to lend people a book because I don't want the stories to sit there enclosed in their titles forever. So, how is that linking to Lord of the Rings? Oh yeah, so they are one, but they're just as beautiful anyway. So I'm sure you are familiar. We have the Return of the King, the Two Towers, and the Fellowship of the Ring. And I just realised I said those backwards, but you get me. Now you're probably like, girl, what's this? You have them. You have the cute pocketbook edition. Well, yes. And these are absolutely beautiful. But have I read them? I'm trying to get one out. But have I read them? No, because I don't even have bad eyesight, and this is hard for me. And I really, really do want to read them. And these are beautiful, and I will forever cherish them. But if I'm being honest with you, they're illegible to me. So I really wanted to read them. So I picked up a book. Now that I'm looking at it, it doesn't actually look any easier, but at least it's bigger. It feels less daunting for me in that sense. So that's why I picked up these books. All right. It's just hitting me how many books I've just bought. Oh well, it's not hurting anyone. We're up to the last package, guys, and I genuinely cannot remember what's in these. All right, let's pick them out together one by one. Oh, what's this? They just sent me bookmarks? You're joking. I'm getting so emotional. We have a cute little dotty one. That one. A Seba to hear, a touch against the night. I don't recognise who that's meant to be, if it's meant to be anyone. And then we have a quote one. Let's cape the hell out of this DM. The darkest minds. Oh my god, that is... I'm blessed. I have been blessed. I literally am... Hold back the tears, girl. They're just bookmarks. But they're not just bookmarks. They're love. They're effort. They're bookmarks. The books. The books. The books. Ah, yes, the unexpected everything. So this one I asked again over on my Instagram whether it was worth getting, and I got a mixed bag, but one of yous reached out to me and said you really liked it and it was a really good summer read. Now we're going into winter here in New Zealand. I don't know if you can see that, but my arm hairs are standing up. I'm actually kind of cold in this room. But anyway, so obviously being winter, you probably wouldn't want to pick up a summer book, but sometimes I want to live in denial and pretend that I'm not freezing and I am instead somewhere nice and warm. So that's why I picked this one up. And again, it is another one that I have seen around. Yes, okay, J. Christoph, let's talk about him for a second. I am very aware that his God's Grave Nevernight books have kind of a love it or hate it. And I'm very aware that some things he talks about are not okay. He's got a very strong sense of what he thinks beauty should be. At least that's what comes along in the... Can you actually see them? Yeah, you can. The Nevernight series. But... although that is bad, I can't help but like his story. So I'm very aware, and I think this is valid. You can critique an author or their content and still like their books. Sometimes you just shouldn't support people, but for me, I just really like Christoph's writing. I actually need to finish that series. But I saw this one, so Kinslayer, the greatest weakness... her greatest strength is her fatal weakness, and the fact that she looks to be Asian, I want to read it. I like Christoph. I just really hope he hasn't commodified or stereotyped Asian women in this book. I'll keep you updated. The Truth and Lies of Ella Black. This is one I picked up because the blurb just sounded interesting and the seller, so all these 4 books are from the same seller. The seller had it listed for like $2. So essentially Ella is a 17-year-old and seems to have a life that's really perfect, and like one that her classmates would kill her for. However, there is a dark side to her. Bella. So I'm really intrigued to see if this is actually a story which has a character who is, I always want to say bilingual or bisexual, but I really mean, you know the word. It just always escapes me. So I'm intrigued to see if she is. And then lastly, All the Crooked Saints by Maggie Stavada, an author I have read from and loved. I will admit, I remember picking this up and reading 20 pages and putting it down again to put, not on my DNF list, but on my wrong time try again later in the future list. So I found it. So those are the books, guys. I did a little bit of damage, but honestly, this is my life. My personality is I'm a reader. My whole identity is wrapped up in the stories behind me. So thank you for making it to the end. If you liked and enjoyed this video, please consider supporting me with a like or subscribe down below. Let me know if I should prioritise reading any of the books you just saw. I'll spin the wheel for you. Enjoy all the places you go in your own life and reading adventures, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.
Spinning the wheel for my beautiful subscribers.
Alright guys, I am just going to balance it on my knee because all of those books are blocking the little stand for it. So Your reading prompt is... a pretty cover, and shout out to Books for Life 46 for this. Tell me what book you're gonna read. What has a pretty cover on it? Alright, bye bye guys.